More leaked information about Windows 11, how to get and decrypt ransomware, Facebook pays people that find vulnerabilities, and answering your questions with everything ransomware. All that and more next on The Computer Doctor Show.
You're listening to The Computer Doctor Show, your source for technology subjects affecting your business and personal life during this new normal. Your host is an award-winning office technician and IT specialist, author, tutor, ethical hacker, and recent winner on localbest.com as the best computer shop in Tucson. Broadcasting live, here's Aaron Moss.
Hello, Tucson and the podcast world. Welcome to the Computer Doctor Show, your headquarters for scam awareness, blockchain, science, and cutting-edge technology talk. This is episode 49. I am Aaron Moss, your host. Good to have you with us every Saturday. We post all of our shows and bonus content on ComputerDoctorShow.com. Again, ComputerDoctorShow.com. Our open lines, 520-790-2040. Feel free to call in anytime with your comments and questions, and even complaints. We take those calls as well. Co-hosting today, Eric Briggs with the Loving Labor Coffee out of Oro Valley. Thanks for being with us, Eric.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me, Aaron.
The Computer Doctor Show is sponsored by Perfection Auto Works for your car needs for over 30 years. We have a great show for you today, starting with some of the tech news that broke this week. More leaked information about Windows 11. Now, this is just rumors. So, even though Microsoft vowed that Windows 10 would be the last operating system, there seems to be this continuous string of Windows 11 fake leaks, I'm going to call them. But people are leaking information about some supposed Windows 11. Some sites are even reporting that Windows 11 is going to be released in just a few short weeks on June 24th. And major changes of the design is going to be in the start menu, okay? So if you've had several versions of Windows, you'll always notice that every version, they always change the start menu a little bit more. And that's what the rumor is for Windows 11, that they're going to change the start menu again. And in some fashion, it's going to be easier and better to utilize. But here's the thing. Even if there is a Windows 11, okay, there seems to be a pattern that of good and bad, then good, then bad when it comes to these operating systems. Seems like every other release seems like the test platform for the real one. For example, if we go back to Windows XP. Windows XP was a great system, but then came Vista, which was not all the way there. But then Windows 7 was a good one. But it took all the bugs and all the research stuff that they figured out about Vista, and they put that into Windows 7, and the same thing happened to after Windows 7 with Windows 8 and 8.1. Okay, they tried to do this thing where they had Windows 8.0 and 8.1, and then first of all, everyone hated Windows 8. Because of that start menu. As a matter of fact, Windows 8 didn't really even have a start menu. They had a start menu screen that took up, they were trying to get all into the apps, and they were also trying to make one operating system apply for desktops, laptops, and also mobile devices. Did you know that there's actually a Microsoft smartphone? Did you know that?
I think I had heard something about it, but I can't.
They are so rare. But some people have them, but there's actually we have if you get a smartphone, you would assume it's either one of two types. It's either iPhone or Android, and Android has lots of different makes and models. But there's actually Microsoft phones. And they have Microsoft stores on them, and they operate with the similar operating systems as as Windows 10 and Windows 8, some of those things. So Microsoft, they're trying to have a single operating system that operates all of their equipment. Okay, and that's what they're gearing up for. But all of these are just rumors about Windows 11, but I'm very curious to see what happens on June 24th. We'll see what Windows, the next level that they say, Windows thing is happening.
Now, on the smartphone side, they have no market share. I mean, it's infinitesimal. I mean, not even worth talking about. But are they planning to try to get some foothold?
They always are. You know, there are so many people, there are so many organizations that want to take the place of iPhone and Android, Samsung products. There's all kinds of companies that are competing for that spot. It's extremely hard to get to that level. Yeah. Microsoft is also, but they've just been not been able to, because so much of it is consumer mindset. So many people are now programmed for iPhone.
That's
okay.
Right.
When Apple releases an iPhone, people don't even know how it's better. They just know that they want it, and they know that they want to get online, you know, a month before it arrives, or a month
That's
before.
Right.
They want to sit in tents, and they don't care how much it costs. They'll borrow the money. They'll run up their credit card just so that they can say that they have it. It's mindset.
It is. It is.
You know,
They have a tribe.
There you go.
They have a tribe, for sure.
Also, how to get ransomware on purpose. You know, we've been talking a lot about ransomware. So why would you want ransomware on purpose? Well, there's actually a good reason. One of the ways to combat an attack is to train people, train your employees, train the users of your organization that could be the target. Your company could be the next target. So one company called KnowBe4.com, that's know, the word B-E, and then the number 4.com, they have an array of products where you can click and you can say, I would like to be infected with ransomware, and click, I would like to be infected with malware, click, I would like to be infected. And basically you get infected, okay, with a test version of these things to see and test all of your securities. It's the same kind of concept. There was this old TV show, it's not that old, maybe within the past 6 or 7 years, where a family would hire an ex-burglar, okay, that turned good, and they would ask him to rob their house. Okay. Now that sounds a little bit strange, but here's the thing. Obviously, if you hired him, you're going to get all your stuff back, obviously. But it would also expose all of the vulnerabilities that you thought that you were okay with. Okay,
Yep.
Locking the windows, how good your door locks are they pick-proof? You know, are you leaving windows on the second floor open? You know, things like that. So that's the idea behind these. So if you are interested in getting ransomware yourself, okay, or getting attacked yourself, kind of like a ransomware drill, you can go to KnowBe4.com for that. And let me know if you do. Because I would love to have you on the show to see how that goes. Also, Facebook needs your help, and they're willing to pay. There was a journalist recently that was paid $30,000 for finding a way for an attacker. She found a way that an attacker could extract sensitive personal data from a Facebook account without being a follower. So, Eric, we both have. Actually, we were talking this morning on
Right.
Facebook Messenger, right?
That's
So
right.
we both have Facebook. Now, when we friend people and we allow people to be our friends on that platform, that comes with other things that are unlocked for those people. Okay, they get to see pictures, they get to see other communication, they get to see your wall, they get to see your other friends,
That's right.
things like that. Now, there's actually this woman. She was actually able to find a way that can be done with any account without being a friend. So,
Yeah.
so they were able to find this loophole through the communication between Facebook and Instagram. I believe Facebook has fixed the problem since, but
They paid her too, right? They paid her.
they paid her because, she just stumbled across it, but the mere fact that she brought it to the attention of the security people at Facebook, they rewarded her $30,000.
That's
So if there's anybody out there that is knowledgeable of these things, tell Facebook. You might get some money. So now, a quick little story. I got a message. I have a lot of my customers that are also friends of mine on my Facebook account, and I got a message from someone that looked like my customer, had her name on it, had her picture on it. She says, "Hi, Aaron. How are you doing?" I said, "Fine." I says, I said, fine, how are you? She says, oh, I'm doing great. I just got my grant money. I said, what grant money? And then I start asking, he says, oh, by the way, you can get grant money too. It's grant. You don't have to pay it back. I said, yeah, just call this lady at this number, and before you know it, now I'm talking to somebody else, and now I'm feeding somebody else information. And that's just kind of like the start of something bad,
That's right. That's right.
And,
I've had that happen too.
And by the way, I already knew from the very beginning that it wasn't really her because I already texted her back. But they were very, very they were practically forcing me. Okay, if I didn't know any better, or if it was an unsuspecting person, if the information is coming from somebody that you trust, somebody that you know and trust, because apparently somebody was able to see who my friends are. And they just copied their picture, copied their name, created an Instagram account, then linked that Instagram account to a Facebook account which blocked out the name. Because Facebook, it's a little bit more secure as far as who can create it. It's harder to create a fake account on Facebook than it is Instagram. So people are creating fake Instagram accounts, linking it with their Facebook account, and then communicating with people through the messenger part of Instagram through Facebook. So they found that little loophole, and people are actually starting to use it. So it's actually pretty scary. But we're going to go to a little bit of a break here. Up next on the Computer Doctor Show, some tech anniversaries, everything ransomware. Our open lines, 520-790-2040. You're listening to the Computer Doctor Show. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Come on, man. Alexa, fix my car.
I don't do cars. Take it to Perfection Auto Works.
Right, give me Siri.
Why didn't you listen to Alexa? Perfection Auto Works has been wrenching cars, not wallets, since 1994. Go look at their shop. There are cars lined up around the block. What do their owners know that you don't? I am taking you right now to perfectionautoworks.com.
Yeah, what Siri said. This is Mike Emery from Perfection Auto Works. We do brakes, oil, tires, alignment, general maintenance, major services, and vehicle restorations, all cars, foreign and domestic. Call Perfection Auto Works today, 323-8650. That's 323-8650, or perfectionautoworks.com. The world's best auto repair shop.
Mike, don't let being best give you a swell head.
Ugly Goose Car Rental is new in Tucson, providing a low-cost auto rental alternative for just $100 per week. The only catch? The cars are ugly, but very safe and reliable to get you to work, school, shopping, and all your important appointments. To reserve your $100 a week car rental, call Ugly Goose Car Rental at 520-261-0439. Again, 520-261-0439.
Computer Doctor of Tucson is the best choice in desktop support in Tucson. They fix error messages, power and boot problems, install of software and hardware, and much more. You can come to them, or they can come to you, or even have a remote support session so they can fix your issues over the phone quickly. Give them a call at 261-5508, 261-5508. Visit them on the web at computerdoctortucson.com. Computer Doctor of Tucson, because technology is great when it works.
Welcome back to the Computer Doctor Show, your source for scam awareness, blockchain science, and cutting-edge technology talk. I'm Aaron Moss here with Eric Briggs. Here are some tech anniversaries, but before we do that, Eric, why don't you tell us about your loving, what is it again, the Loving Coffee?
Labor Coffee Company.
Loving Labor Coffee. Tell us about that.
We're actually the home of smoked coffee, because in the coffee business, there are a lot of coffees that are they're pretty much commodities. Mm-hmm. You might have an extra fancy Kona from Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Fantastic coffee, but you can find it other places. Mm-hmm. Or Jamaica Blue Mountain, which is arguably some of the best coffee in the world.
Jamaican coffee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the Cubans.
Well, the Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee is thought to be the best because you can sit in a t-shirt and shorts year-round by the crop, mm-hmm. and it doesn't get too cold and it doesn't get too hot. So it's a perfect atmosphere for coffee.
Wow. Where can some people get their hands on some of this Jamaican coffee?
Well, we're lovinglaborcoffee.com,
Mm-hmm.
and we deliver locally if it's ordered usually by 2 p.m. during the week. And
Okay.
it's the same day. We're known for our smoked coffee, which really we have it because it decommoditizes us. You can't just get that anywhere. That's us.
All right.
So it's like you do it in the 17th century where they used to smoke over wood. Well, we smoke the coffee ourselves.
Ooh,
So
that's
it's,
cool.
Yeah, it's smooth. It's good
If you want to
stuff.
learn more about that, going to lovinglaborcoffee.com. Okay. Here are some tech anniversaries that are happening this week, June 19th, which is actually today. In 1931, the first photoelectric cell was installed commercially in West Haven, Connecticut. So if you don't know what a photoelectric cell is, that is basically it's basically a sensor that you shine light on it and it detects it. It opens up a flow of electrons or electricity through it, and it allows you to turn something on. So if you have a light that's outside and the sun goes down, the photoelectric cell would actually detect that it's dark outside and then send a signal to some other switch that would actually turn porch lights on. It would turn parking lot lights on, things like that. So, hey, we've been 90 years with the photoelectric cell.
Wow.
Also, June 19th, 1934, 87 years ago, the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, was created. So that's a happy anniversary to them. And if it wasn't for the FCC, the FCC does pretty much everything with communications. This station actually has to report to the FCC, phones and 5G, 4G, everything that has anything to do with communications has to report back to the FCC. So 87 years with having things coordinated by the FCC. And they're doing, I feel that they're doing an excellent job, especially with the emergency alert system that's going to be tested on August 11th that we announced last week as well. So those are some important things. Now, here is a very interesting segment that I like to call Everything Ransomware. This is a mini-series. I think we're maybe at part 5. But basically what we're doing is we're answering questions about about ransomware, all the questions about ransomware. What is it? How did it shut down the Colonial Pipeline? Should you ever pay ransom? Things like that. So this time I wanted to answer the question of how does ransomware get into your computer in the first place? Now, this is actually pretty interesting because they don't just get into your computer. They're also starting to get into servers and also cloud services. And what's recently come to the attention of the public is that ransomware is available as a service. So there are criminals out there that are basically subscribers to services that specialize in creating ransomware. And they've already done all the research of how to get the stuff in. Okay. Now, let's say that you have an operation. Let's say that you're running a mid-sized business. Let's say that you have maybe about 20 computers. You have maybe 20 employees. And one of those computers is like your main computer that everything is coordinated. That's what runs the machines. That's what runs the phones. That's what runs the operation. Okay, and there's 20 other computers. Did you know that if one of those users get infected with ransomware, before it actually fully deploys and blows up the system, it knows which computer is the most important. It knows which computer is actually running the mission critical parts of the operation. And the criminals can actually choose, nope, let's not hit that one. Let's not hit this one. Let's hit this one that's named server. This one seems to have the most amount of gigs, the most amount of memory. That must be their main system. Let's hit that.
Unbelievable.
Okay, that's one of the methods that they get in. But that's only like several stages. The way they get in through the door initially is your usual ways. Okay, your emails, your your prank phone callers that will trick you into giving you information, or pretending to be your boss, or pretending to be somebody else to give you little pieces of information. And they collect all this information. Eventually, they have enough information to get through a certain barrier. And then once through that barrier, now they work on the next doorways to get in further. So when you get attacked by ransomware, it's not something because of you did something that day. It's probably from something that you did maybe weeks or sometimes months, and in some cases years ago.
Oh.
Because these systems that they put into your computer, they have the ability to remain dormant. And basically all that means is it's just a sitting duck, or a file just waiting for its command to deploy and to activate.
Trojan horse. Long term.
So since we have a little bit of time, I'm going to tell you this. I was reading this article about how one hacker was able to get in to a computer using nothing but what's called a rubber ducky. Okay. It's called a rubber ducky. I don't know how it got the name, but you can Google rubber ducky hack. And basically it's a thumb drive or flash drive. You plug it in, but it's pre-programmed. That flash drive is pre-programmed with software to make it appear like it's a keyboard to the computer. Now, a keyboard is not threatening on any level to a computer. Okay, you plug in a keyboard to a computer, the computer identifies it as a keyboard, says, "Oh, I can trust you.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a keyboard." Okay, but it's not a keyboard. That keyboard, that fake keyboard that is loaded onto that flash drive is pre-recorded to quickly type out things and to quickly create files using a keyboard. It's not loading a bad file into the computer. It's creating a file and typing out an entire program by quickly typing it like a typewriter would. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they save it as a text file. And then at some point in the future, they can change that text file that they hid and just change the last prefix from TXT to EXE. So now everything that they just wrote, that typed out, it is now an executable file. And now they can go back and they can say, execute that file. Now, the computer has no idea that it was there or what its capabilities were, but now it has become extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
So it's
weaponized.
Weaponized, exactly. So so to say Trojan horse, a Trojan. So what do you understand a Trojan horse to be? Because we use that term a lot. So
yeah, that's true. I was going to say there's something inside waiting to come out at an opportune time.
It looks like something else. But there's something else inside.
Innocuous, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So so in this case, it would be a Trojan horse in the fact that the computer thought it was just a keyboard. It thought it was just typing out information from a keyboard. That's the Trojan. Okay, the action of tricking the computer when it's actually into doing something else. There's a different type of Trojan horse where you're actually talking about a file or a computer for somebody that where they actually do think that it's one thing, but it actually turns into something else when they actually open it up. So it can be done electronically, or it can be done through a file. But as we wrap up, I just want to thank our sponsor, Perfection Auto Works, for being here. My name is Aaron Moss, your host and technology expert. Eric Briggs, co-host today. Tom Fairbanks is at the control board. Listen to the Computer Doctor Show each week with new episodes every Saturday. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week.